This is an information session on One South Euclid's neighborhood grant program. Just a reminder that it's being recorded so that it can be available for others to access the information after tonight. I'm just going to start off by introducing One South Euclid staff. My name is Annette Uemoto. I'm the executive director. And then I work with Barbie McCann here. Barbie, do you want to just say hello for a minute?
Oh, hello. Hi, Talia. And Joe Marie, I think was the other name. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Barbie is helps me answer some of the questions that come in throughout the year, returns phone calls. So if you do call us throughout this process, you might be hearing from her. So just to give a sense of the flow for today, I'm going to be discussing the different grant programs through our neighborhood grant program, starting with exterior home repair. I'll also talk about our senior landscape service program, the business storefront renovation, and between each section or presentation, I'll leave room for questions so that any questions you have about the application or the grant program itself, you'll have opportunity to get those questions answered. So just starting off with who we are One South Euclid, a community development corporation. CDCs are nonprofit organizations that support and revitalize communities. We really in South Euclid work with residents and businesses to ensure a vibrant and thriving community. We were formed in 2009, really in part to address the foreclosure crisis going on. And we are still involved in real estate through our Build, Grow, Thrive program to ensure the stability and growth of South Euclid neighborhoods. But since 2009, we've grown quite a bit. We're increasing our support to the small business community. A strategic focus for us is the Mayfield Green downtown district. And through the support we get from the community and through our Build, Grow, Thrive program, we're able to offer grant programs to residents and businesses. So tonight we're really focused on those programs, and I'm going to go through each one. Here is the list of our different programs. Of course, the exterior home repair is exterior improvements to owner-occupied homes. Our senior landscape services program provides grass cutting and snow plowing for our seniors. We have business storefront renovation grants to improve the exterior of businesses. And we also in the past have offered community engagement and beautification grants. These are small grants that are available to residents and community groups to do things that engage their community or make it a little bit brighter place to be. We suspended this program during the onset of the pandemic, but we will be bringing it back this year, and look for more information in the spring about that program. On this slide, you can see there's a map of the 2021 neighborhood grant program impact, and you can see that we are really providing support throughout the city through all of our programs. So just to start with the exterior home repair program, these are grant funds, like I said, for exterior improvements to owner-occupied homes. That means that the owner is the one applying, not rental properties. And One South Euclid will fund up to 50% of a project cost. And I want to explain this in two different ways. It might mean, for example, if you're looking to replace a concrete driveway and the estimate you get is $10,000, and One South Euclid gives you a grant for $4,000, you would have to pay $6,000. Or it could be that you want to replace your step unit and you receive a $2,500 grant. But if the project ends up costing $4,000, that means you would pay $2,000 and we would pay $2,000. So that is what we mean by may fund up to 50% of a project cost. If you are awarded a grant, we would also make sure that this is in writing. It's also in the application, but just want to be really upfront about how the program works. And it is available for all property owners. However, if you received a grant last year, you're not eligible to apply again this year. You have to take at least 1 year off. And then on each of these slides, I've tried to highlight one of the projects we've done. So here is a garage that was able to be replaced through the program. This is the list of eligible repairs this year through our exterior home repair program. So there's driveway replacements, and you can see an example of that on this slide. Garage replacements, house painting, roof replacement, sidewalk replacement, siding replacement, step unit replacement, and tree removal. There have been other repairs that were eligible in the past, but if it is not on this list, then for this year of 2022, it is not an eligible repair. These are the ones that are eligible this year. I'm going to go a little bit into the application process. So the application is available right now online at onesoutheuclid.org. If you are on our homepage, you should be able to see a button for exterior home repair and click that, get some information on the program, and there's the link there to apply. However, we recognize that everyone has computer access or feels savvy enough on a computer to complete the application, and we do have a paper application available. Residents who are interested in that just need to call me at 216-316-5373 with your address and the type of repair that you're interested in applying for. As part of the application, we obviously get your contact information and collect some information about the project you want to complete. It should be one of the ones from that list. And then depending on the type of project, we might ask about the materials you plan to use or your current condition of that part of your house and what the scale of the project is that you want to complete. We'll also ask some basic financial information about your income and how you plan to fund your portion of the repair, and also contributing factors to your financial need. There's a spot on the application called Statement of Need, and this is really the most important part of your application. It's where you get to tell us why you need our support in completing this project. It's a blank space. You can use as much room as you'd like, and it's really your opportunity to tell the committee that oversees this program why you need our help. There's also a project timeline area. And what we want to see there is that you're prepared to begin working on your project as soon as the grant comes in, because all of these projects must be completed within this calendar year. So it's really important that those that are receiving the grant this year are ready to hit the ground running when they receive an award letter in May and are able to complete the project on time. This past year, we've experienced some delays because of supply chain issues and labor issues. We recognize those could be ongoing barriers to completing your project, and so it's important to start early. We don't know if we'll be able to offer extensions. It's not something that we typically do. There's also a personal profile, really just asking about how many people live in your house, how long you've been in South Euclid. And then there's a number of certifications or agreements, just making sure that you know what makes you eligible to receive a grant and what kind of information might be collected from you going forward. So once we receive your application, and it must be received by March 4th. I would recommend that if you're doing a paper application that you mail it by February 25th to make sure it comes to us on time and doesn't get lost in the mail. And then if you're completing it online, I will be looking to make sure it has a timestamp of March 4th or earlier. And I will also make sure that you're only submitting one application per property. We won't consider multiple applications for a single property. Doesn't matter if there's two people there and you each submit one, I will be reaching out and saying that you can only submit one per property. We do have a grant committee that's made up of volunteers of the One South Euclid board who are residents of our community who review all the applications and make the funding decisions. However, they do a blind review, so they won't be able to see your name or your address. They'll really just be looking at the other areas of the application that you filled out, your financial information, that statement of need. Again, that's the most important part, making sure your project timeline is filled out in order to make a decision. Depending on the volume of applications that we receive, we may do kind of a second round of review in March or April, which means we would be reaching out to people to verify their income, getting at least 2 project estimates to get a sense of the scale of each application, and then also photographing the property for further review. And really, what we're doing here is making sure that you're not just replacing the siding because you want to, that it's something that really needs to be done to beautify your home. Maybe there's even issues, for example, the roof that's causing problems, health and safety issues because of your steps. We're going to be looking at that compared to the other applications that have come in, and really trying to identify those applications that have the most need to fund this year. We have a timeline in mind, and so we expect all of our award decisions by May or in May, so that people can get started that month. So that's an overview of the program, the eligible repairs, the application process, and our review process. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and take any questions that people might have. Someone asked, is there a maximum grant amount per household? So it depends on the quotes, the estimates that you receive. There's not a specific maximum amount that is listed right now. I can tell you that the applications or the grants from last year range from $1,000 to $8,000. So that hopefully gives you a sense of the scale of the projects. And again, some of those projects could have been more than, for example, $16,000, but we paid for up to $8,000 of that project cost. And let me know, do you alternate projects every year? So typically the projects listed, the eligible repairs have been the same for the past couple of years. Sometimes some types of repairs will drop off, they might get added back again. One example would be last year we funded windows and doors, but the committee determined that this year we weren't going to do it. It doesn't mean that we won't do it next year. It kind of just depends on what we see the need might be. If you see a project that's not listed, a type of repair that's not listed, you can email grants@onesoutheuclid.org, and we keep records of all of that. So if we see a lot of people asking about, we'll say windows, then we'll definitely consider adding that back again. If not awarded, can someone reapply the following year? Yes, you can apply each year if you're not awarded. There are people who have applied a couple of times and then on the next attempt get it. So that's definitely something you're able to do. How many applications do you receive on average? I think it's been increasing each year with the amount of knowledge there is now in the community about this program. I think we're in our 7th year. And I would say I would expect about 100 applications. We might fund, it depends on, again, the level of need and number of projects, but maybe 15, give or take 5 projects, could be up to 20 projects. So we don't have a set amount in mind. We have an idea, but it really depends on what comes in. For this year, we will likely not add additional repairs this year. This is the list for this year, and I'll bring that up again. But doesn't mean that this will be the list in the future. It could look different. So let me just bring that list up again so that you can see it. Driveway, garage, house, roof, sidewalk, siding, step unit, and tree. And these are also listed on the website before you start your application. Again, the applications are available at onesoutheuclid.org, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen to answer any questions. So not seeing any questions come in. I really hope this was helpful to give a sense of our different grant programs, how the application and review process works. I am always available for questions as you're completing the application. Again, 216-316-5373, and either myself or Barbie will get back to you as soon as we can. I know when the applications were first available, January 31st, we got a lot of calls, and hopefully by having this recording available on our website, we can answer a lot of questions that you may have. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening.